and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel today, guys. And again, we're starting another brand new week off the back of a very, very important win. And of course, today we're going to be looking back on yesterday's vital victory against Elche, which was a lot harder, I feel, than many of us thought that it was going to be. We're also, of course, going to be talking yet again about the progress and about the fantastic results we are seeing under our coach Xavi Hernandez. We're also going to be discussing the game-changing impact that Ferran Torres had yesterday, and there are going to be some more words on our brand new signing at Barça, Pablo Torre, who also enjoyed a very impressive weekend. We're going to be talking about exactly where he fits in amongst the wealth of midfield talent that Barça have coming through. It is all up for discussion today, so let's get to it. But if we do start by looking back on yesterday's victory over Elche, which, like I say, was a really hard-fought one. It was a battle there from the first minute right up until the very nervy final seconds in yesterday's game. But what I do have to say is, I think winning that by 2-1, the fact that we did really have to fight, we did have to work hard, and I think we appreciate the fact there that we were able to get the 3 points. I actually think that kind of scoreline, it could be a blessing in disguise, because I do think that going into that game against Elche, the fact that we'd scored 4 goals in so many of the games against Atletico, against Napoli, against Valencia, against Athletic, all of these games scoring 4, of course the expectations then, they're going to skyrocket. Going into a game then against Elche, you're thinking 4, you're thinking 5, you're thinking 6 goals perhaps in Barca's favour, and I just think yesterday, what it does, it calms those expectations. Because yes, Barca are very much so on the right path. We're doing all the right things. And again, even yesterday, we could have scored that many goals. But it just makes sure here that we stay grounded, take each game as it comes. There are going to be difficult ones. There are going to be tricky ones where maybe things don't go your way. But what we have to do is dig in, keep working hard. And as we've seen, the results and the performances, they're coming. Because indeed, this is how the weekend's action leaves the La Liga table, and there was a particularly important game after hours yesterday with Atletico Madrid beating Real Betis away, which has left the table looking like this. Barca are in third and remain in third, and as you can also see, we have a game in hand on everyone around us right now. Atleti are level with us on 48, but like I say, having played a game more, Betis now are outside of the top 4, and what that means is that if Barca were to win their game in hand, we would be 5 points clear of 5th place, which I think you can all agree. When Xavi came in, where we have come from, where we've risen from, it is absolutely incredible progress. And let's just have a look at some of those numbers, because these right here are indeed Xavi's results in La Liga since coming in as the new Barcelona coach, and the results and of course the performances that he has gotten out of this team is absolutely extraordinary. He has taken 31 points out of a possible 42 in the 14 that he's coached in La Liga since coming in as the coach, and even more so, I think that's impressive on its own. But when you actually acknowledge there that 9 of those 14 games have all been away from home. We have actually faced there so many away games under Xavi, yet still we've had a phenomenal record. And I think the work that this man has done on the training ground, in the preparation, right the way onto the field on match day, it is absolutely incredible. And the good times just keep rolling. But of course, after yesterday's win over Elche, I did invite you guys to submit your player of the match, and with the voting now closed, I can reveal that you voted Ferran Torres as the player of the match against Elche there for Barca. And of course, don't forget, guys, that if you do want to get involved in future votes and future games, please do get involved by following the link in the description below. Many of you guys, they're opting for Ferran as the man of the match, but also quite a few votes as well going in favour of Ter Stegen, who made some really key saves in that second half. Memphis picked up a few votes as well. Jordi Alba and Araujo make up the top 5 there for Barca. But if we do do speak a bit more about Ferran Torres, because obviously in the match review we spoke about the fact that he had an absolutely fantastic impact in the game. He could have scored a lot more than the one goal he did get yesterday. But what I do want to stress, and what I also said yesterday on social media after the game, is that we cannot forget, and we really can't forget, that Ferran has just turned 22 years old. Because obviously I think you're coming into Barca, big transfer fee, everybody expects you to be the finished article, but I don't think anybody right now is suggesting that Ferran is the finished product, that every part of his game is perfectly polished and finalised, because that's absolutely not the case. And I'm not hiding at all that he's got plenty about his game that he needs to work on. One of those, of course, is definitely the finishing touch, having that composure in front of goal, and certainly getting that confidence in front of goal back, in that feel when he's in on goal. But what I also think is that he's in the perfect place to do it. Right now, he is in a Barcelona team working every single day under Xavi Hernandez, and there are so many aspects in his game that perfectly suit Barcelona. You looked at those runs yesterday that he was making. You look at the kind of positions that he was taking up time after time, so clever and incisive in his movements. That is a typical Barcelona forward. That is exactly what Xavi will be wanting to see, and I just feel as though when he does get it going in front of goal, when the goals do start flowing and he starts to feel like, yeah, I'm confident, I'm going to score from every chance I get, that's the way that I'm feeling, I feel like, you know what, those goals are going to flow. Once they start, they will not stop, and I cannot wait for that to happen, because there is so much about his game elsewhere to really get excited about. But indeed, guys, speaking about excitement and speaking about young players who are learning, developing and improving, let's talk now about our brand new signing. We did mention him briefly before the game against Elche. It is Pablo Torre, who, let's not forget also, Barça beat Real Madrid to this young man's signature there. 18 years old, he's going to sign there from Racing Santander and join up initially with Barça B in the summer. And with all of the headlines and all the news about him prior to this weekend's games, I have to say he wasn't affected, not in the slightest, because actually there, in the first game that he had since that official Barca move was announced, Pablo Torre got himself on the score sheet, and it was an excellent goal too. The way that he actually started the move there just inside the opponent's half, he was the one who evaded the two markers there, getting away from them with fantastic close control. Really good dribbler this young man seems to be. He then moves the ball on, it gets played out wide, and what I like about this is the fact that actually he didn't just stand there admiring his early work and the fact that he's opened up the field here, but he makes that run. He's the one determined to get into the penalty area. He times the run perfectly, arrives onto the cross and scores there from the header, and that is not the first goal that he's scored like that this season. He is a very exciting young player that I think already he looks mature. That was his 7th goal of the season so far in just 22 appearances. Really impressive numbers there for a midfield player. He's provided 6 assists as well, and I really do like the look of him. He's somebody there who already wears the number 10 shirt at his club. He's the top goal scorer for Racing. All of this at 18 years old. You know, he's helped them there to first place in the league. They play in the Spanish 3rd tier there, the same level as Barcelona B, and he just looks really confident. Very talented. He uses that in all the right places, in all the right areas, and it's not just a club level either, because he has already been recognised for the Spanish national team. He's been capped on 6 occasions for the under-19s, and already he has scored 3 goals for Spain under-19s, so certainly there's so much to like about his game. But the question would be, where's he going to fit? You know, another midfielder, another talented midfield player that again looks like he'll perfectly suit the way that Barca and especially Xavi want to play. But where is he going to come in? And I think it is interesting, because the first thing that you'd say is, especially, you know, looking at Xavi, he's never going to turn down a talented midfielder. He's going to want as many of those kind of players as possible. But that's the thing, because I do think here about Pablo Torre, he's a different kind of player to the likes of Xavi, to Pedri, to Nico. He is not really like those. He may be talented in a similar way, and there may be comparisons there between this type of transfer, bringing in a young player like this and then hoping that they mature in the same way. But actually, in terms of the game itself, I do see him playing further advanced. You know, for Racing at the weekend, he played in a sort of number 10 role, playing a lot closer to the centre forward. And I would see him at Barca maybe playing as a winger, playing out wide. He can do that, or maybe even a false nine. I think he's a lot more attack-minded than our other midfielders. He's certainly somebody who looks to to score goals, looks to be involved in that final third. And that's why I do think here, this guy is different, very, very different to the huge talent that we already have. And I think here, once again, just like in the way that we did with Pedri, that low transfer fee, if he goes on to achieve big things, it'll of course go up and could reach 20 million euros. But even then, that looks like a deal that we can get behind and be excited about. And I cannot wait personally to see this young man come in the summer, first of all with Barça B, see how he adapts, how he progresses, how his talent develops. And I really do hope that we see him soon in the first team. So that indeed, guys, was some Barça news to kick off a brand new week here off the back of a very important win against Elche. And of course, coming this Thursday, we are back in Europa League action with the first leg against Galatasaray coming live from the Camp Nou. Please do let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below on Xavi's progress, on Ferran's impact, and on Pablo Torre, Barca's brand new signing. I will of course see you soon, very soon indeed, with more videos. Thank you for your support and for tuning in again today. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.